sitting down with a super depressing story right now?
Hey, we have other super depressing stories to watch, like Gundam.
No, let's talk about something uplifting, like a single dad and his almost girlfriend turned idol.
What the hell happens in this season?
Oh man, so much stuff. As well as is going to be happening on Modular Components. It's the podcast. It's happening now. I just decided. Hello, everyone. I'm the Vacuuminator, and I am joined, of course, for this Modular Media flagship show where we just goof around and shoot the shit about stuff that's on our mind by the incomparable Boingo Rider.
Howdy, 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 bowdy.
The, Lone Warrior, Snowcone 83.
Again, I did get a PS5.
Nice. And the has no reason to be here tonight, True Buster.
I had a PS5 when it came out. I still don't feel like it's more of a purchase.
Weird flex.
Yeah.
Very weird flex. So, boys, a thing finished coming out this last week.
Dun, 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 dun.
And I think we're going to talk about it.
Are we? Okay, cool. Hey,
Yeah.
Mandalorian, buddies.
Yeah, Mando season 3 wrapped up, baby. And I don't know, should we AF this? Should we do like some general thoughts before we just start diving into topics?
I don't know.
Not the general perception. Honestly, like I've seen a lot of people being very mixed on it.
It seems like a lot of people have soured on the show this year.
Yeah, which like I kind of don't blame them because like ever since like Mando was like the only Disney Plus Star Wars show for a while, but now there's just been like 3 others. So it's like, oh, okay, we have more for just another one now. So it's like probably just the cynical among us. Probably like, too much Star Wars, you know.
Did you just say Among Us?
I'm not. I don't want to make the joke every time. I'm trying to grow back. Stop trying to make me into old habits.
You can never escape it. This is your fate now. You're the Zoomer,
I
damn it.
don't know if I believe Buster. I guess you could say I'm a little suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
Look, that's a good use of my words.
God damn it. So yeah, I did like this season though. I don't think it's as strong as the first two, but I still enjoyed it a fair bit. I think where the story ends up going in this one felt really natural and logical. I can agree with the people that it does suck we didn't get as many standalone episodes this year, but
There are also
overall,
piss
I liked
babies
it.
who bitched and moaned and complained about the one standalone episode we did get and going like, oh, this is it's fucking goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one.
Overall, I liked the whole season. I feel like it was a pretty solid season of television. Like, you know, it wasn't fucking Andor, but I don't expect Andor from The Mandalorian. I expect The Mandalorian, and I got The Mandalorian. It was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I don't know. Fucking general thoughts from the other boys who have seen it?
I very much enjoyed this season.
Mm-hmm. Go. I didn't know you.
Oh, yeah. I guess general thoughts. Yeah, I mean the season's great. I liked how it finished up, and I definitely like the direction. I kind of feel like this might be my favorite season so far. But that's about it.
I really enjoyed this season. I have a feeling I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I had seen some previous Filoni work, but I hadn't. So, what you gonna do?
I heard the Filoniverse is getting like more like intensely connected.
The Filoniverse is like officially a thing now because they announced at Celebration this year he's getting a movie that's going to wrap up all of his shit.
Yeah, which that is going to be very interesting to see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of things I thought was just like really cool things that happened. Yeah, it gave me exactly what I wanted out of Star Wars.
And like I think like speaking as the outsider, I think like a lot of people like aren't used because this like to me the Mandalorian and all these other Disney Plus shows are like basically filling in the void the Legends stuff took. But like now because Disney is like everything is canon and important. There's a higher like
there's more scrutiny placed upon them.
Yeah, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can definitely feel that.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Because, like, you haven't even seen Boba Fett, but you can remember back when Boba Fett, it was like every week there was a huge fucking debate over whether it was the worst thing ever or it was okay.
yeah, like, and I'm like, man, the Star Wars discussion, like, outside of like, honestly, I only feel comfortable talking Star Wars with you guys. Legit,
Mm.
like, you guys are like the only people I really like talking Star Wars with because I think we both have similar understandings of like what we like about this thing.
Yeah. Because, like, I like Legends and I know a bit about it, but, like, I instantly understood when they decanonicized it, and I still enjoy going back and examining parts of it I've already engaged with or checking out parts I've never looked into before. And I like it makes it more fun for me to watch this new stuff and feel like I'm always entirely in the loop and have fun little moments in these shows of like, oh, that's cool, they mentioned this thing from Legends, or they're bringing in this thing and they're doing their own little twist on it. Like, obviously there's Thrawn coming in Rebels and now coming back in Ahsoka, but like another thing from those novels, friggin' Galad Pelion shows up for a hot second in this season of Mando, and that made me go, oh, Scrimblow, real hard.
That shit's a little bit more than Scrimblow though. Like it's a big boy to be like sliding out there. Gulp Shido, that's great.
Yeah.
I
Hopefully
think
he's like a proper character in Ahsoka.
I think he's gonna have to be.
But we also got brand new Scrimblows this season with like Jack Black.
Yeah.
They
Jack
gotta do like
Black
a Jack
and just
Black,
being
Black
Jack
series.
Black in Star Wars.
Man, it was great. I just gotta say, like, I love Lizzo and Jack Black. I thought that shit was so rad. That shit reminded me of and again, this is why I think maybe a lot of people didn't like it, because I mean, it is just that way. But it had a lot of like Phantom Menace vibes to me in some of the episodes, especially the Jack Black one, Blackjack one.
I think they're like probably aware of and are trying to take a little advantage of prequel nostalgia without being too overt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the Mandalorians has a super battle droid shoulder plate,
Yeah.
and we got to see even more super battle droids.
Oh yeah, there was a whole episode. That whole episode with Jack Black was basically just a love letter to anybody who likes droids.
It was for me. That whole fucking episode was for me. We got Christopher Lloyd, Jack Black, Lizzo. I was freaking out the whole time. We got Tasha Banks, right?
Yeah.
She came.
Can I make a little confession? I like barely knew that Lizzo was a person that existed before this episode of Mandalorian.
Oh no, same.
That's a fair assessment. I just
I
know
like
her
Lizzo.
mostly from a couple songs and the fact that she played a flute.
Like, I think I'd heard her name a couple times before, like I'd heard people talking about her before, but while she was on camera the whole time, I was like, this is a pretty good actress. She's doing an okay job with this role. I feel like I should know her from something, but I don't. And then in the credits, I saw and featuring Lizzo, and I was like, oh, I think I know that's a famous person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And, like,
Bad
Star Wars
bitch.
has always
Fuck.
had famous people,
Mhm.
so it's just like, I guess, because like the prequels have a lot of famous people or like up and coming
Yeah.
famous people. I mean, they had Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, like, as much as it can seem like, oh, that's stunt casting or that's just putting somebody we know in Star Wars, those people are also still actors. Like, Christopher Lloyd is still a working actor. It's not like Christopher Lloyd contacted Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau and said, hey, can I be in Star Wars?
I mean, they probably were like, "Hey, we're doing a thing. Would you like to be on a Star War?"
Yeah, do you want a war with some stars?
Yeah. And then he said, sure, I would be delighted to play your bureaucratic alt-right dickhead in Star Wars.
Oh, it's not just alt-right. He was straight up a firm believer in the separatists.
Count Dooku. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was straight up like it's a question
Motherfucker might as well have been wearing a t-shirt that said Dooku was right.
nobody was asking the questions like, oh, what happened with the separatists, the ones who like actually believe that. But now we have an answer. That's just like they're trying to live in society as much as anyone else is.
Yeah, which does call back to stuff Filoni's done before. There's a whole like series of Clone Wars episodes where Ahsoka goes and hangs out with some separatist politicians, and you get the sense of like, oh, these are just people who just think like not being attached to the Republic would be what's best for their people, and having this war is the only way they know how to do it. They can't find another way out, and Dooku and the Sith are just taking advantage of that.
Yeah. Like I said, I have a feeling that I would have enjoyed a lot of the little elements of this season if I had dived more into Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
But from just being a Mandalorian fan, I got a lot out of this just for seeing Din Djarin's reaction to all the Filoni stuff. That was my connection, was just like, okay, what's Din Djarin's opinion on all these droids? What's Din Djarin's thoughts on the Separatists? His internal political moves within the rebirth of Mandalore, you know?
Yeah, and his opinion often just boils down to, I don't give a shit, I'm just going to do whatever it takes to help my friends.
Yeah. It's great. It's fucking... And I think a lot of people are just really connecting to Mandalorian in that kind of way, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of this season is about him, like, busting his ass to get the Mandalorians to get their shit together and retake their planet. But there's also, like, the whole subplot with, I forget what it's called, but Grief Karga's planet, and, like, going back there and making sure they're taken care of and keeping up that relationship.
Yeah. It's crazy that we've seen it, like, rise and fall.
Yeah, because it was a total shithole in the first episode, and now it's like a proper, respectable outpost.
And, like, just seeing... Like, this is what Filoni's really good at, is, like, taking stuff that people were, like, kind of bad-mouthing about the prequels and going, like, no, guys, there's good story here. Here you go. And now kind of, like, people go, like, oh, yeah, no, Order 66 is this horrible, tragic thing that happened, and not just some weird ass pull.
Yeah.
And, like, he started doing that with the sequel trilogy this season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, they're doing sequel shit now?
They've been alluding
yeah.
to the sequels since, like, late season 1.
Yeah.
Huh.
Legit. An entire subplot of this is Moff Gideon is building clones, doing the Palpatine plan, and he gets ruined, and it's just like, no, I can't live forever now!
And, like, in that same scene, because there's, like, in the penultimate episode of this season, there's a whole scene where there's, like, a Imperial War Council, and that's the scene where Galad Pelion shows up, but also frickin' General Hux's dad is there, and we get it dropped that, like, he's obsessed with cloning, too.
Oh, great part about that, isn't he played by the younger brother of the guy who played General Hux in the movies?
Yep.
That's cool. That's fun. Yeah. There's a lot of fun stuff in this.
But, like, there's also stuff for original trilogy fans, like the frickin' redemption quest that R5D4 goes on.
Who's that?
That's the astromech that Mando basically adopts this season.
A Scribblo Boingo doesn't know. The world must be collapsing.
Well,
Hey.
it's a Scrimbal Cody knows, because that is the astromech that, like, Luke almost buys in episode 4 and then friggin' blows up.
No, dude,
Oh.
I screamed like a girl in, like, season 1 whenever, like, I forget the name of the mechanic friend, but they're like, oh, we got a fucking astromech droid over here, and you see this fucking thing roll out, and it still has the and to segue perfectly into the Black Series, by the way, yeah, it still has, like, the burn mark from the bad motivator blowing out of its head,
Oh,
and
that's
it's
great.
included in the Black Series. Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, because we're getting an updated Black Series of R5D4 that is directly marketed as it's R5D4, not from episode 4, but from The Mandalorian.
Yeah, and that R2 that's coming out might
They're on
be
the
the
same
number
body.
1 contender, by the way.
Oh yeah, it looks so good. I can't wait to get mine.
Like, there's just a lot of great stuff this episode. It it follows a serialized plot, but, like, I thought a lot of the episodes stood on well enough on their own.
Mm-hmm. Like, there's that whole pirate episode.
Oh,
Pirates in me Star Wars?
the
Yeah,
pirate
there's
episode was
There's
amazing.
just fucking, like, seaweed space pirates.
Okay, this may just be because I'm a point and click adventure brain rot dude. That guy straight up looks like and sounds like
Monkey Island?
the evil pirate in Monkey Island. Yeah,
Nice.
Like it took,
Well,
like
it
I
was
had to.
actually played by that evil pirate from Monkey Island.
No,
They just
it was
used
the
AI
brand
to
new.
recreate the. I'm bullshitting you, by the way. So.
I know. I had
This
to double
guy.
check and make sure that the voice actor, wasn't the guy from the thing, because it felt like too much of an obvious like reference.
Buster, this swamp thing looking motherfucker is the captain of the pirates.
Yo, that's some Clone Wars ass shit.
He was
Mhm.
great. Also, it was all practical. It was all practical costume.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love that they had him show up just in a second in the first episode of this season to see that that was going to be a thing.
And see, here's the thing too, and this is what the next season's probably going to be like. This shit felt more like it went from like gritty western to like your episodic western, like
Mhm.
Oh,
your
yeah.
old school episodic westerns where they're going on actual adventures. And like that's the thing. Star Wars doesn't always have to be fucking Jedi and whatever shit. Star Wars can have these compelling, cool, like fun things, stories without like hitting the same beats every single time.
Yeah, and that's
I
the
don't
thing
know,
that
man.
attracted people to Mandalorian in the first place. Is it's kind of the first thing that really proved like, oh, Star Wars doesn't have to be entirely about Jedi to be interesting.
It's really and the end just sets up like a perfect episodic ongoing bullshit completely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Though I gotta say, I don't know if I love that they I don't know if it's a retcon, but like just saying that Din is his last name instead of his first name. Because
I don't know that they're saying that.
I mean, they treated it like a family name, like Japanese.
Yeah, like some names, it is first name is the family name. Like some cultures, it's first name, family name, and then last name, your personal name.
Well, I just Jaren being his family name always sounded better to me, but if that's what
Yeah.
the show's going with, that it's Din is the last
Well, I
name is a
mean,
lot better.
the
It's fine.
Mandalorians as a conceptual idea in the show are very one part cowboy, one part samurai. So
Mhm.
having a Japanese style like naming convention makes sense.
Yeah. It does make it funny though, because like I wonder if it's just a thing for Din's specific part of Mandalorian culture, because Kryze is canonically Bo's family name. She is, and like that makes it even funnier that the whole season. Excuse me.
You good? Oh, I think Vac is sneezing.
He doing the achoo.
The season sneezing.
Hey!
Baby. No, there's a lot of great things. I'm
think what he was
imagining.
about to segue into is the fact that like Kryze, Bo-Katan Kryze, last
Yeah.
name.
Sorry,
You could talk
coughing
about
fit, like hit me from the side like a
Vizsla.
linebacker.
You good there, bud?
I'm good.
Paz and Pre Vizsla.
Yeah, there's that, but then I was also like, a lot of the season is Mando and Bo-Katan off on their own doing shit, and the whole time they're referring to each other as Bo and Din, which is funny to me because that just now sounds like Mando was referring to her like as an affectionate friend, potential romance, and she's just like fellow associate.
Yeah. But also it's like, because here's the thing. The family name is the last one, is the second one with that group of Mandalorians, and maybe it's just more of like different in cultures, and it's funny.
Yeah.
Din Djarin also wasn't born on Mandalore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
And that-
people could just have a different.
And that was another cool thing when they're going and retaking Mandalore, that little moment where like the Mandalorians are talking to each other about like, oh god, it's worse than I thought. You should have been here for the purge. Like just seeing like in both groups there are people who joined post Mandalore getting destroyed.
Yeah. Should we go episode by episode? Some thoughts and ideas?
Sure. Let me pull up a wiki list of episodes real quick.
A Wookiee list, a
Yeah.
Wikipedia
A
list,
Wikipedia?
a Woo.
I'm getting it. Okay, so the first episode of this season is Chapter 17, The Apostate.
Right, because he can't. He's not Mando anymore.
You don't walk the way because you took off your fancy hat.
So you got to go do the thing, and now that starts him on the quest.
And a lot of that episode is mainly him just hanging around Grief Karga's play Navarro. That's what that planet was called.
Navarro.
Hanging around Navarro and like trying to get IG-11 running again. And Babu Frick shows up. Babu Frick, technically a young Babu Frick compared to his appearance in Rise of Skywalker.
Yep. And I love it. I like Babu Frick.
Yeah.
That whole species is a fun, like, new little thing to have in Star Wars. It's good.
Yeah.
That new species. So
a species very specifically known for being good at working on droids.
there was good and bad things with the sequel trilogy. A lot of stuff to me didn't feel like Star Wars, but whenever they brought in practical effects and like did these little creatures, like that shit felt Star Wars to me. Like I saw it and was immediately like, ah, yeah, sure.
Okay, Cody, I don't think we've ever discussed it, so I have to ask: are you pro or anti-Porg?
I liked seeing Chewbacca eat them. I mean, I thought they were cute.
Whoa! And,
I'm
no
I'm
code
pro-
anti-scrunkly mascot.
Well, like I'm pro like in canon Porg, but like I don't really like how hard they were marketed and like slapped everywhere. They like became the Star Wars minions for a little while.
They
Yeah,
were.
fair.
I think they were meant to be like Ewoks for the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, but Ewoks are like terrifying. That was the Vietnam of the Star Wars like battles. So.
Whoa!
The Vietnam of Star Wars, which started off as an allegory for Vietnam.
Hey, sometimes things happen, you know.
Yeah.
No, man. Oh man, does that mean there's an Ewok? No, there's a fucking frickin' Forrest Gump in Star Wars.
Isn't that
I
just
feel
Jar
like it'd
Jar?
be a droid. I don't know.
But trying to get IG-88 was fun, and just everything falling apart on him.
And that whole sequence when he's in the garage talking to Babu Frick and his crew, and like Grogu starts trying to eat them.
Oh man.
Yeah. I saw like an article where like people were like, "Oh my god, did they just say the F word in Star Wars?" And I'm just like, sometimes I see these articles nowadays and I just look at it and I'm like, no, and then like put my phone down.
Yeah.
I just look at it and I'm like, no, fuck
This is
off.
something me and Buster have said regularly.
Yeah. There's a lot of takes that make us put our phones down and be like, why are we even internet influencers or some shit? I don't know.
I like that Grief Karga has also like fully embraced the role of High Magistrate to the point of where he's like almost unrecognizable from the character he was in season 1.
Yeah. But it's also like you can tell it's in part of like him trying to be the person he needs to be for the people, but also like there's a little bit of like there's nuance in it. It's not just him fucking selling out, right?
Oh, yeah, no, it's felt like a natural character arc. I always enjoy checking in on what's going on with Navarro.
Yeah.
But then we have do we want to go ahead and move on to episode 2?
Sure.
Chapter 18, The Mines of Mandalore, which was I think this is one of the best episodes of the season because this is very very self-contained, but is also very important for the plot and has some moments that are like really cool if you're a long-term fan of the Mandalorian side of the Star Wars mythos, with him grabbing R5D4 and going to the planet and exploring the ruins and the ritual and everything, and the freaking gosh darn mythosaur showing up.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. Again, this feels like one of those times that like it would be much more impactful because don't you see the raising of Mandalore in the Clone Wars?
No, the first time we saw that was in Din's flashbacks in season 1.
Okay.
Or no, like I'm trying to remember where that was. That was either season 2 or Book of Boba Fett. We got like some flashes to that, and we saw.
What
how
I thought
brutal it
was like we already knew before all this kind of stuff that Mandalore was just trashed.
Yeah, a lot of shit went down on Mandalore in the Clone Wars show, but we didn't see the Empire coming to raise it. But yeah, there's all that. This is a really good Bo episode because we get to see her sort of get hoodwinked into joining the plot and like her perspective on Din walking the way and how like his religion maybe isn't exactly a bad thing. And oh yeah, this is the one with the crab tank.
Crab
I
tank.
don't even know if I would call that a tank, but it's
It's a mech. There's
it's
a lot of
cool as fuck. I
there's
liked
a
it.
lot of mecha.
What did
this
Lego
season.
call it? Like the spider crab or something like that?
I don't know.
I think they might have just called it a crab tank.
Yeah, it seems like something that they would just label as in the toy.
It's officially the Lego Star Wars spider tank.
There you go.
Mhm.
But I do like how Din Djarin gets fucking wrecked, and Grogu's like, "Oh shit, who do I know
Dad
you.
got fucked up. I'm gonna go get my cool aunt."
I'm gonna go get stepmom." And she was just like immediately like, "Oh, that immediately warmed me up to Bo-Katan because like, yeah, sure, she was around and whatever, but like, I don't know a super ton about her again."
hmm
But like the fact that she immediately was like, "Oh, this guy I had a disagreement with fucked up and he's in trouble. Fuck it, I'm going to help him."
hmm
That was like, okay, cool. I like this character. They're a good person.
Yeah.
I think they always. Well, I guess you wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of them. I haven't seen a ton of them. I was like, oh, okay, this was a good character defining moment to let me know, so as someone who hasn't seen her before, who she is.
Yeah. And like my first exposure to her was in Mando season 2, but since then I've gone back and watched her episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels. And so like I have a full understanding of her now. But I also have that perspective of like if I still didn't have all that, knowing just what I did from season 2, I think this is a very strong use of her.
Especially if it's just the way she interacted with all the other Mandalorians, and we'll get into that.
Yeah. Because that's really all that happens in that episode. It's a fairly simple episode.
It's good action-packed fucking stuff, though.
Yeah. And then getting on to chapter 19, the cohorts, that is where shit really goes down and we get into what's going on with Din's Mandalorian culture. Because we got like a little bit of them in episode 1. We get to see like a Mandalorian initiation ritual, which is really cool. But here we come back and we get like an idea of what a day in the life of these Mandalorians is.
I do like how that ritual is kind of framed, because it almost feels like, oh, is this a flashback to when Din got his helmet?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, nope, this is happening right now, and Din comes in and saves the day.
Yeah. With that big frickin' whatever it was, that big beastie.
Yeah.
Turtle. It was like an alligator turtle.
Yeah. They were just in a fucking crevice in Florida.
But yeah, I also really enjoyed the cohort, what with it being all about just kind of like the interpersonal politics, and it kind of continues into the next episode. But with all of them sort of being at odds with each other, but having to slowly come together.
Yeah, it was also just fun for me to see how this like little Mandalorian like community just like lived.
Mm-hmm.
How's your daily life?
There's a lot of combat training at all times.
I mean, they're some of the best warriors in the entire galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they figure out how, like, I know this is Legends canon, not current canon, but didn't they figure out how to beat Jedi with fucking shotguns?
Yeah.
No, that's like regular canon.
Oh, it's still regular canon?
All of the shit, from what I understand, all of the shit that they do, because they talk about that in Rebels whenever they're training
Ezra?
No, was it Ezra?
Sabine.
It was Sabine. I mean, that's why they have like the flamethrowers and the wires. Like part of that is because of fighting I mean, that's where the Darksaber came from.
Was fighting Jedi.
Yeah, that's how it's like talked about.
Wasn't the guy who made the Darksaber like the only Mandalorian to also become a Jedi?
I don't think it was. That's what's his fucking name? Revan.
Mm.
Revan was a Mandalorian.
Wasn't he the bad guy in like one of the big RPGs in the Xbox era?
No, he was your main character, and you could choose to be good or bad.
Okay. But no, it's just like it's fun. It was cool to see all of them like work together, the plan, the idea, all that stuff.
Yeah, having to go after freaking Heavy Mando's kid at one point.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah. Which, by the way, what a great season it was for that character.
Oh yeah.
Because you went from, like, just always expecting this dude to be an asshole to Din to, like, oh, this is a guy who also just really wants to protect the Covert and his kid. He just has a different way of going about it than Din did.
It's a difference of mindset of like, yeah, it's the heavy gunner Mandalorian was kind of like an older brother figure who just gives Din all the shit. It's like, no, dude, I expect better of you. Do better.
Mm-hmm. Also, just a really fun detail. I like that we finally get like a proper explanation of like, nah, here's how Mandalorians eating dinner works when they're on that hunting party, and it's like we're all gonna split off. We're all gonna go in a corner in the cold dark and scarf our food down alone while you get to sit by the fire because you're the leader.
Yeah, and it does show how like alienating and that kind of stuff is for Bo-Katan, though.
Yeah. It also just makes you wonder, like, how the hell do these people have sex? How do they have kids?
I mean, you could fuck without taking a helmet off.
I mean, considering some people on the internet, it'd probably be preferable not to.
That's true. That's fair. But
Is that everything you want to talk about this season?
we're like
No.
halfway through the season.
Oh, whoa,
We're gonna be here a while. This is gonna be a while, bud. You signed up for this.
Oh, I sure did. And I can sign out now. I just kidding.
Buster's like, go watch my shit. Bye.
No, I'm not. I'm not, actually not. I'm just gonna mute my mic and pretend I care or pretend I know what you're talking about.
You're gonna
I
pretend
do
you're
care,
listening to a podcast about the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Well, at me when it's like things I would be interested in.
Okay.
Well, at you next week then, Buster.
I guess this brings us to the pirate episode.
Well, we didn't talk. They fight some birds and then they kidnap some birds.
Yeah, like that's the whole thing with going to get Heavy Mando's kid.
Yeah, the whole team. It was great.
And they
I
ate
love
one of
that
them
you don't even
birds.
find out that that's his son until they get to the nest. Like, this
Oh,
was
yeah.
important information, buddy.
But like, I think it was more of like, I don't want.
Wait,
I don't want.
yeah, we do. We know it's his son. What are you talking about?
He doesn't reveal. We know it's his son, but they don't know it's his son. Like,
Oh.
like Den and Bo aren't aware that that's his kid, but I think we were aware that's his kid.
Mm-hmm. When he gets to the nest and they see his kid, he immediately starts going for him and calling out to him, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he goes, "He's my son." And you get the impression that like he was holding that information back for some reason.
I think I know the reason. Because he didn't want them to feel sorry for him to go save this kid. He wanted them to go save a fellow Mandalorian.
Mm.
You know, it's like, that's the point of like Mando culture, you know? It's that like, together we are like, yeah, that stuff, you know?
Together
Yeah.
we are more. I love Power Rangers open bracket 2017 close bracket.
Mando strong together.
That
Mhm.
wasn't even in the movie. That was just in the marketing material.
Yeah, it was in that one poster that was stolen frickin' Getty Images shit.
Yeah.
Oh man. PR 2017, what a time.
Yeah, go read my Twitter thread about it. I'm actually really proud of that thread.
Nice. But yeah, that was a really good episode, and like the whole exploring of the newfound relationship between the Armorer and Bo-Katan. With making the Armorer much more of a character this season, where she was just kind of like a general mentor figure, and now it's you get to see her be more like, nah, the rules of our religion can be bent if it means the survival of our people.
It's also just kind of like the rules of we're like, you're a Mandalorian, but you're not one of us Mandalorians. It's like we're a specific sect, and we can understand that you're something different, but we're all Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's kind of the vibe, because they still like congratulate Din on like, oh, the helmet, yeah.
And like in that scene, it's also there's like a brief moment of, oh, and Bo, you got in the water too? You're redeemed too. And she's like, okay. I have nowhere else to go because the Empire just blew up my house.
I love that too.
Also, we probably can't pay the actress to stay here all the time, so we can just have her be a voice actor for a couple episodes. That was my thought. It's like, oh, sweet, you're just having it so you can just have her ADR her lines and like Pedro. Cool.
Yeah. And Pedro was not on set at all this season, apparently.
Nah, he was busy with fucking other shit.
Yeah. And at least they credited the suit actors now.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else with that set of episodes before we get on to the pirate episode.
Grogu fighting the kid.
Yeah, that whole like combat training scene, that was really cool. And again, I like friggin' Bo just kind of being the stepmom of like, no, don't worry, he's just proud of you. You're gonna be fine. My dad did this too.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's solid.
Yeah.
Now pirate episode.
Yeah, chapter 21, which is just like a big protracted battle both on the ground and in space with a little bit before and after.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah. Like, and it was I know this is a very anecdotal thing, but like it was very fun for me to watch that episode because I had to get up that morning and drive my mom or go with my mom to the airport because her car was broken down, but she couldn't miss her flight. So she just drove my car there and then I drove back. But on the entire way there, I was watching this episode and being in a moving car on the highway. Wow, it really helped out some of those space battles.
That's cool.
But like there's also just some solid character stuff of like that scene that where they decide to go, where there's the whole Mandalorian like city town hall meeting. And Din's like, look, this is a great opportunity for us. I know we're helping my friend, but also if we do this, he might give us some land, and that land would be a lot safer to live on than this shithole. And then Heavy Mando comes up, and you think he's about to fucking start shit-talking his plan, and then he goes, no, this is a great plan. I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it.
You know what? I fucking hate this guy, and I'm excited for him.
Yeah.
You really had me going in the first half.
Yeah. This was truly the season that had Heavy Mando.
Yeah. They did everything they could to make you feel for a minor character before the inevitable. But I think that's all there is really to say about the pirate episode that we haven't already said.
The pirate dude was dope. I love the pirate guy. And that's, again, mostly because I'm Monkey Island shit.
Mm-hmm. But then that's also the episode where we find out about Moff Gideon's prison transport having been hit and him having been captured by somebody else or potentially rescued. And then the armorer saying that Bo-Katan can go without her helmet and go find other Mandalorians, which leads us into Chapter 22, Guns for Hire, which has probably the best opening scene of the whole season.
I can't remember. What was it?
That's where Axe Wolves and all the mercenary Mandalorians go and like are they called the Quarians? That race with like the weird fish heads? That's
the Romeo and Juliet with the two fish people.
Yeah, that was like something so bizarre, but played so straight that it totally worked.
It's just aliens, dog. That's just Star Trek, actually.
Yeah, it was like something out of Star Trek, but it worked.
It's just like, we can't be together. Our people hate each other.
Mm-hmm. I think she literally says, I can't throw away everything I built for a childish fling. And he's like, oh, that's all we are to you?
And it's just like, it's great. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. And I love that they reversed the gender roles in that scene, too.
Yeah, he was the pretty princess.
Definitely good.
It was also nice seeing alien species that we're used to seeing in like as one character or as like in one specific role in a different light, because normally we see the ones that are like Admiral Akbar, his species, as like, oh yeah, they're working with the rebellion, they're doing all this stuff, they're fighting. And no, it's like here's a sweet tender moment for one of them, and it's like really cool to see the emotion.
Well, both of those species are from the same planet. I'm pretty sure. And we went to that fishing planet in like season 2, I think.
Yeah, that's the planet where Mando takes Frog Lady, right?
Yeah, and you see a lot of them there too.
Just saying, it's cool.
That freaking one. Oh god, I forget the name of Akbar's race, but that one that's just in the sweater and looks so disappointed. What an icon!
The fish people.
Yes, the fish people. Welcome to the podcast, B-Mask. But then we go to that planet with Jack Black and Lizzo and the whole separatist droid plot that we've already like talked about a whole lot.
Whoa! Aren't we missing one?
No, I don't think so.
Mythosaur?
No, hold on. Is it after this? No, it was before this. The whole fucking side plot on Coruscant.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. There's a whole episode. I think it's it's during the Covert, because I kind of blended the Mando stuff and Covert and Foundling together in my head, I think. But there's a whole side plot in the Covert where like most of that episode takes place on Coruscant with the frickin' scientist man from the first 2 seasons trying to integrate into New Republic society, and us finding out that like, yeah, the New Republic is just as fucked up as the Empire was. They're just better at hiding it.
Yeah.
But it's also just like, it's cool to see how some of the people from the Empire are like shameful of what they did and they're trying to do better.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and like bringing that back around with Jack Black later.
Yeah.
Where like, did they say he was Imperial or did they say he was former Separatist?
No, he's Imperial.
He was Imperial.
Okay.
He still had like the he had like one of the weird, like that sash had like the blue and like red rectangles on it.
Mm.
And it was like a gloss black like leather thing.
And I also love how in that whole episode he just refuses to take responsibility for the issues. He's like, I did the best I could. I fixed it out. They were working fine. It's not my I didn't do this.
I mean, he's right to say that because he didn't cause any of the problems.
Yeah, he ends up being right in the end, but it's also just funny how like him and Lizzo are total aristocratic boobs who are just in their own world compared to the rest of their people.
Oh, I love how Lizzo handles Grogu the whole time.
Yeah.
What a fucking treat. Like, I don't know. I know you said you didn't know much about Lizzo, but I saw like the article talking about how Lizzo like cried like for hours because her dad was a huge Star Wars fan.
Oh wow.
And that's how she got into it. And like she was without her dad, so like she said she just cried for hours because she knew that like he would be proud of her for this and that he wouldn't believe it, you know, like and it's just touching, you know, like I think Lizzo is one of the cool musicians out there.
Mm-hmm.
She's very genuine.
That's definitely also cool because that episode was the one this season directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, and she has that whole thing where like her dad was friends with George Lucas.
Yeah, well, she's also like any fucking thing she directs. When it comes to like Star Wars episodes, she just fucking nails it.
Mm-hmm. They need to give her a movie already.
Every time I'm like, wow, that was an amazing episode. Then it's like, bam.
They need to give someone a movie because there hasn't been any movies since that one.
They announced a bunch of movies at Celebration.
Are they even gonna get made? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't trusting it until I'm seeing it in the theater at this point, man.
Buster, you got issues. You got like some serious abandonment issues, I think.
I do. Like, you should too. You're a DC fan.
Yeah, but now he has James Gunn, and James Gunn is
Stockholm syndrome. Okay, it's different.
Okay, but just like back before the gun, like.
I made a whole video about this week. We don't need to go into it.
Yeah, or like last week.
Yeah, last week for the listener. This week I've got a video on Tommy Oliver out. Go watch that. At the Vacuuminator on YouTube. But anyways, Mandalorian.
I I
think we're-
loved all the droids, just seeing all the different fucking what droid props do we have available?
Mm-hmm. And also, like, getting that lore for the first time in live action that, like, yeah, the droids are totally people too. They have a whole, like, way of life where it's like they are very inclined to, no, we definitely want to help people, we want to be of service, but they're still sentient beings on their own, and that means something. Because, like, the only other place I've seen that really explored is the comics. There was a whole 3PO comic that came out right before Force Awakens that dealt with that.
Yeah, how he got his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is also a reference to fucking Hideo Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to talk about, which I mean, I guess this has kind of been like, this is definitely like a Clone Wars thing that kind of changed a little bit. Originally, the battle droids like did not have like that kind of sentience, and
Mhm.
I've never really seen a super battle droid like do what they did in this episode.
The closest
you,
you
like-
get is in, like, episode 3, where those two, like, start assaulting R2 in the beginning.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, but yeah, they have a little bit of a character to them, like they always did, like with the Roger and like the not getting knocked over in the Phantom Menace,
Mhm.
and then in episode 2 with the R2 and like how he. I mean, yeah, that's actually I got the action figure for that, the little 3/4 inch.
Mhm.
Boy, I sure do can't wait hope for anything of that. I think the first time we're gonna get like an actual like good posable figure of that is gonna be
Super
the
Battle
fucking
Droid?
Hot Toys release. Yeah, which I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. I'll do that for that. I don't give a
It's
shit.
friggin', hey,
It'll get its own shelf. Like fuck it. Who cares? I'm
by
tired
the
of
time
not
this
being
comes
able to.
out, though, it'll be a week away from May the 4th. Hasbro,
Dude,
come on. Don't let us down this year. Black Series Super Battle Droid. Let's do it. You can make it a deluxe. Fine, we'll cough up the cash.
there's been a Fig Arts one teased but never made, and like there's been like
There's so many figure art Star Wars things they teased and never made.
well, there's a lot of Fig Arts. I mean, that's how they do a lot of things because there was a Napa Fig Arts whenever they originally started doing them.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, like,
And,
they
like-
teased the entire Jetman team and then only did red and black.
We do have all the Ginyu Force though,
Mm.
which I wish I could rely. See, and like that's the other thing too. When we want to talk about abandonment issues, it's real hard to like try to make that call. It's like, do I want to try to collect a team? Because then they just might not ever fucking do it, dude.
Yeah. You almost gotta wait. You gotta wait until they all come out and then pay secondary
if you
prices
wait, then
for the
you're gonna
early
get like
ones.
yeah, like that's the thing is like if you fucking wait, you're gonna get fucking scalped. I guess.
Yeah.
Yar.
Like, we'll talk about, or we will have talked about this more on Twit, but I'm really mad at Hasbro right now because I just fucking stuck my finger down the Lightning Collection remastered hole, and then they bit my fucking hand off like 2 days after I put that order in for blue and yellow. So,
Oh, what do you mean? Are they shipped already?
blue and yellow I have them on my desk right now, but there's a thing
Ooh.
with red and green that's really fucky.
Mm.
What?
So green isn't coming with his shield. Red is. And they've made it so it's entirely removable so you can put it on anyone. But they're also using that to justify not giving red an unmorphed head like the others. And green comes with blade blasters for some reason, even though he never used the blade blaster, and he has the wrong belt. His holster is for a blade blaster instead of the dragon dagger.
Okay, I think I know why they wanted to not put a helmeted head. This is an excuse what they've done.
We
but
don't know why they're doing it. It's still fucking stupid because
Yeah,
it makes
exactly.
them mismatched with the rest of the set.
yeah, I haven't seen anyone say why they're doing it. I guess people just
And
don't
by
like
we
it.
all, I mean everyone in the fandom. Boingo and Snowcomb probably either don't notice or don't remember it. Austin St.
No, I
John
know
is
what
in
you're talking
legal
about.
trouble right now.
Oh.
Legal right now. I thought that was the one that fucking stabbed somebody with the Power Ranger sword.
No, that's Wild Force Red. The original Red is
Oh.
under investigation right now for possibly stealing money from a COVID relief fund.
Mm.
Oh wow. I don't think that would be. Well, I mean, I guess maybe likenesses.
I mean, they also didn't use except for one tiny little bit, they didn't use any audio of him in the 30th anniversary special that came out this week. Anyways, Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Do we have anything else to say about the episode where they're on the droid Jack Black planet, or do we want to move into the final two episodes?
One of the droids, I think it was the blue one. I believe the story was that like a mega fan had like created like a cosplay or something like that, and then like I think it was like through something with 501st, maybe 501st Legion or something like that. And like they ended up paying homage to that. Yeah, I think it's something like that. I remember reading it.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's just nice to see that the droid they made up for the old Star Tours, they just was like, no, you're part of this. You're canon. Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been done that. It was more funny to see the whole bar gimmick be flipped on its side. Like, oh, we don't serve your kind, plush bag.
Yeah. Especially because in season 1, they had that whole thing where they go back to that cantina and it's being run by droids now.
No, I'm just talking about from like Tatooine.
Yeah.
It's a good episode. Good Mandalorian.
Didn't pushed over a battle droid. It was funny.
But also it examined Din Djarin's like droid phobia.
Giving us the perfect dot gif to sum up Cody Burke as a person. You had me at battle droids.
Yeah. Easy.
It was just fucking wild to see it fucking run at a goddamn clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh shit, it's the feds run. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see him like do that. Like, but they don't really explore that. Like, that's I think one of the reasons why I like Solo. Actually, that's probably a lot of why I like Solo.
Oh, do you actually like Lando's droid?
Dude, I love that droid. I was that was the first Black Series figure that broke on me.
Oh wow.
I love that shit. I mean, it broke because it's like it's got very thin things, but like I buy like every droid except for the astromechs because they're not like there's
Proper
no point
scale.
for me. Yeah, they're not proper scale.
That's about to change though.
I know, dude. They're fucking pre-ordered.
You're gonna
They're
have
done.
to buy so many astromechs.
If I even see those on sale, like I'm gonna fucking grab just another
They
one
made
just
so
to be
many
like,
weird variants with that first body. You know they're gonna go whole hog again.
oh, and don't think I haven't put my physical hands on every single like astromech release, anyways. Especially
You're
the
so
one
ready to have like a display to do that scene in episode 1 where Jar Jar walks into the back of the ship and sees all the astromechs and goes,
Oh,
"Hello,
man.
boyos."
There's gonna be man, you know how fucking nostalgic that is for me. You know how much I love that.
Oh yeah, I love that scene too.
God, I just man, put a smile on my face hearing you say that. I love that.
R2 becomes a main character because he's the only one who didn't get blowed up.
R2 is the main character of Star Wars. R2 and C-3PO.
Yeah, I mean, we're joking, but that's the truth.
Yeah, R2's the only one who remembers and was there for like every single movie.
I mean, Star Wars started as like George Lucas was like, yo, this one movie about the two peasants in the siege. Yeah, I'm inspired by that. The C-3PO and R2-D2 are like were main focus characters because of that.
It's incredible that like even
droids
though
are
Luke
the peasants of the Star Wars universe.
Even though Luke can speak perfect astromech, there's never been a moment where R2's just gone like, you know, Luke, I've seen you for your whole life. I saw you as a tiny baby. I've been with you as a young man. I watched your sister grow up. I fucking watched your dad as a tiny child become a Jedi.
You're just like rattling off, just like
you're like an aunt to me, Skywalker.
Didn't they say in this last episode that language is called binary?
Yeah.
No, it's always been.
Okay. Hey, buddy, you think I know shit?
Because there's a whole moment where, because again, I guess just going into the final.
You to know that dumbass caveat, then yes.
Going into the final two episodes, the spies and the return. Again, the freaking redemption story of R5D4, where like he has to guide Din through the base in that whole last episode. And they even use the rocket legs, which makes me a little mad that the new astromech mold doesn't have them.
I thought it did.
No.
Well, they're probably going to give us a different version of
There's going to be a main, because I think that R5D4 that's up for pre-order right now comes on like a card back. There's going to be a regular wave version that is just like now with rocket legs.
Now,
either that or it would be the just the still get like you give me that money R2 like I have. Like I used to have a shelf of R2s, but it was like all different size R2s, which is the only reason why I ever thought about like getting it is because I was like, well, it's the only thing that I have like 14 different styles of thing of.
Yeah, your boy.
But I don't know. I just never could. But man, I'm so ready. You just keep pumping out those different heads, different colors, and then you do this. Then you give me that fucking bipedal forearm figure, and that's going to be my figure of that year.
The one that was rowing the boat in season 1.
Yeah, I screamed at the top of my lungs when that fucker showed up. Like when he like stood up, I was like it ramped up. I was like, oh, like I had never seen anything that fucking cool in my entire life.
it was like you came for the first time.
Oh, I was watching it with Cole, and like I just started like I just did not stop like making noise for like a solid 2 minutes. Like
I can picture it too. Oh my god.
Oh,
because what's sad is like it's about 2 minutes later, anyways, that you fucking lose it. So like I'm just like, oh my god, that's a great. Oh no, what the fuck? Like, watch out, watch out.
oh no. Since we're talking about like 2 episodes, what did you think of the IG mech suit, Cody?
Man, you already know I'm like pro for that. Like that's great.
You think we're getting a black series of that new IG body?
With a Grogu internal bit.
Yeah, maybe just make
I don't
Grogu
know.
removable.
I do not know. I don't actually own one of those IG figures either.
Good, because they're terrible. I had IG-11 for a little bit, and he sucked ass. Could not stand. The articulation was real bad. Felt like I was going to break him all the time.
That's what I hear.
Maybe with this, you'll get a new IG-88.
Mm-hmm.
Well, IG type body stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, Buster, do you like Ninjago?
A lot. I haven't watched it in a bit, but I did like the first 2 seasons. So yeah.
Okay, I have something
Show
vaguely
me,
relevant
show
that I have to
me,
talk about a
show
little bit
me.
later. A little bit later.
Okay.
So I don't want to. I don't want to.
Are you almost done, guys? Are getting near the
We're in the
finale?
last 2 episodes now.
Okay.
But
you
we
would
got...
know this if you pay attention.
God, I had something I wanted to bring up. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to say about the Grogu IG mech suit. That was one of those things where I was like, okay, this doesn't bother me. I'm kind of ambivalent towards it. I think it's a smart way to get Grogu more involved with the plot. But also, like, I know there's a lot of people who probably instantly hated this.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cute.
And they definitely were channeling like the funny pets too, with like the no, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But that also gave a chance for Grogu to be more of a character and not just a prop.
Yeah.
Because that was like an important part of that was just actually developing Grogu and going like, yeah, no, he's not just a prop that's attached to Din. He's a Mandalorian. He's connected to these people. That's who he wants to be.
A real boy.
Yeah. So giving him a chance to be like, no, stop fighting and helping others. It's like, yeah, no, good.
But man, going back to Mandalore and getting the gang together, meeting all those dudes who stayed behind, that was a really cool bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Have they made Mandalorian figures for all the background Mandalorians now?
They're working on it.
No, but like we're getting enough base bodies to where we're gonna be getting like Crayola Mandalorians for like the next couple of years, and I'm totally fine with that.
Well, remember when they revealed that new R5, they on StarWars.com they accidentally posted a picture of him next to the Mandalorian, what they called the Mandalorian captain, but I'm sure there's a canon name for the dude. It's the black dude who is piloting the ship while Axe Wolves
No
is
fucking way, dude.
yeah,
I gotta find that
Mandalore.
picture immediately. His fucking armor is so sick.
I think Yak Face posted it.
Well, which armor?
Oh, we're getting a yak face, right? We're getting a yak face, black face. Canceled.
Cody.
Cody, what did you just? Cody, but dude.
I'm slightly inebriated.
They've announced.
I did not inhale.
TBC. They've announced a vintage collection Yak Face, but we haven't gotten a Black Series confirmed yet. Okay, he was called the Mandalorian Fleet Commander in the StarWars.com announcement, and they immediately took the picture down and replaced it with a picture of just R5. So I don't think they were quite ready to put that guy up for pre-order, but this was the picture.
Let me grab the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That is a man. That is certainly a man.
DeLorean.
Oh, that's not who. Wait.
Oh, I just realized ice cream.
That's not
Mando.
the ship I was thinking of.
No,
I was thinking of the drifters or the outcasts or whatever.
Oh, the
remnants.
leader of the drifters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a yellow and green like
drifters,
stripe across his like
That
slash
guy was
mark
cool
across his
just
helmet.
because he was like, "Yo, we've been trying to keep our heads down and keep things going as best as we can."
We did the best we could with the planet, and like they very easily could have been like, "Fuck you, you left us behind," but no, they were like, "We get it. We're just glad you're here now."
Also, their ship was fucking great.
Yeah, their ship was a really cool, like, unique design for Star Wars, and then the big monster mash that fucks it up. Oh my god!
Yeah, that was a little scary,
Mm-hmm.
especially because like there's so few of them left. Like you're just like watching to see who's getting like crushed or not. And you're like, oh fuck.
I had a hot minute of like, is that a mythosaur? But no, it was some other beastie.
That'd be all kinds of weird if they had.
And then I think
wasn't it already established mythosaurs were aquatic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew very little about mythosaurs before getting into this show, so I wouldn't have known that. But then we get them going into the base and getting ambushed, and I have to ask, did you fellas figure out that Gideon was on Mandalore in that scene or in the conference scene?
It was in this scene that I realized it, but it was like they're like walking through these areas, and then like all of a sudden it's like a corridor, and I'm like, all right, well that's Empire. What the fuck?
Yeah, it looked a lot like some of the cave levels in Jedi Fallen Order.
Legit,
Yeah,
there was
too.
a meme about that on fucking Reddit
Oh,
of just like you see the bars and they're just going like something's wrong here. I can just feel it.
yeah. Though, like, I'm not gonna say I called it, but like, there was a moment during the conference scene where, like, Gideon says to the other guys, like, yeah, the Mandalorians are getting together and they're planning to retake the planet. And everybody's like, oh shit, yeah, you can have your reinforcements. I was like, is that fucker on Mandalore right now? But no, then we get the big reveal of Gideon and his big badass cultural appropriation squad.
God damn, that was the fucking most hilarious shit of just like, I am here to culturally appropriate you. Please stand down.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, but he might not be culturally appropriating.
Was the question because I know like Giancarlo Esposito got a suit. Was that cultural appropriation?
Well,
Yeah,
it's like part of the, and that's the other cool thing here. The thing that I love, because this is more like Star Wars legend shit. Like I used to be obsessed with the Dark Trooper, the final Dark Trooper design. Like the first one was just like kind of like bulky, like I forget how it goes, but like they're following it correctly, I think. And I think the final one is like a giant power suit, like a fucking Warhammer power suit. And he kind of gets a power suit in this one.
I mean, you hear the gears whirring every time he moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Also, that was like another little thing about this
big
season.
robot first, big robot, small robot power suit.
Yeah, like, but this whole season, there were a lot of little things that I was like, oh, that's an excuse to release another figure of that character. Like, him getting a Mandalorian armor and a helmet, and then
I don't
freaking...
want that figure anyways. The fuck?
Yeah, but like, I already have a Gideon. Should I really buy another one? Damn it.
Because
It doesn't look like Gideon side by side. He's got like, and that's the whole thing too. Is like, I was like watching like some of these like videos talk about stuff, but like he has like the heart I forget the actual word for it, but the chest piece in the center.
Yeah.
That's like part of like their religion. Like Bo has it. I think Din has it. A
But then,
lot of
like,
them have it.
the other thing, the one that I thought was really egregious is they just gave the armor a jetpack this season. And like, she needs it for a few scenes, yeah, but I was, as soon as I noticed it, episodes before those scenes happened, I was like, oh, they're going to use that as an excuse to make a new Black series of her.
I don't know. I mean, that one would be more of a stretch. I don't think they'll do that because like she still is like literally just her outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like the fucking scene of her jetpacking with hammer in hand, knocking fucking dudes out.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't
Knocking
talk
out.
about Zeb, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's right. In the pirate episode, a character that only me and Cody are familiar with because he's from Rebels gets like a big cameo. The big like beastie looking guy who goes and talks to the pilot. That's Zeb from Rebels.
Yeah, no, I thought that was it, and then I fucking Googled and was like, is that guy? And I was like, yeah, it's that guy.
Yeah, which I don't know. I think it's a little weird that like all these years later he's joined back up with an army and isn't like working on his planet because they said that's what he was doing at the end of Rebels. But whatever, we got to see him again.
That's the end of the Rebels, and this is like after the war. So like Rebels is before the war kicks off, and this is after. So I mean, I could see him like turning around and being like, maybe not, maybe got to fight. He definitely wouldn't not fight.
Yeah, but there was also I'm thinking of like that big flash forward at the end of Rebels that it looks like they're recreating in Ahsoka from the trailer, which is cool.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch Rebels. I mean, I definitely need to. It's a good show, but you know what I mean. It's cool seeing him in live action. It was cool that they got Steve Blum back to voice him.
I was thinking the same thing until I found out that maybe Steve Blum did not voice. That's what somebody said to me.
All right, I'm going to Google this right now. I need to know. This is important information.
Everyone on the internet be like, "Oh, I think you got Google, man. You got Google. Go do some Google."
The first autocomplete for "Did Steve Blum" is voice Zeb in The Mandalorian.
I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't.
I just like yeah. Maybe he was in The Mandalorian. It was Steve Blum in The Mandalorian. Can anybody hear me?
I'm looking at it right now. Hang on, I'm trying to read this article. Yep, it was Steve Blum.
Okay, like why wouldn't it be him?
You literally just have the man hop on Discord for a few seconds and record some lines.
What was it? I can't remember who the fuck I was talking to who was like, no, I don't think it was that character. Or like, no, I don't think it was Steve Blum originally. And I was like, yeah, he was. I could have sworn, but I just like didn't fucking look it up.
Yeah, well, I just looked it up, and they were
I smoked a lot of weed, so who knows, dude?
How much weed have you smoked?
I don't know how
Happy
much.
420, everybody!
How many
422,
cheeseburgers have you
bitch.
eaten? I don't
Well,
track
it's
it. Like
the week of 420 by the time we're recording this.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever. I don't think you've ever touched the weed, Buster.
I haven't. I don't want to accidentally have things happen.
But the
Don't
whole.
get a contact high from marijuana, Buster.
Can we talk about the goddamn episode?
no.
Oh, okay.
Never.
I will say, because Boingo started talking about like that big jetpack fight sequence. I'm pretty sure it was just me because I didn't hear anybody else talking about this. I didn't love a lot of the battles in the last two episodes. Like once they get into the base, because just something about the claustrophobic way they were shot found things a little hard to follow. Like those, especially with those like GoPro shots in the jetpack fight, I was like, I cannot get my bearings with this.
I enjoyed it, but I mean, what were you watching on?
I watched that episode on my computer, the one with the jetpack fight, because I was off that day.
I could see it feeling like that if it was on a smaller screen.
Yeah, and I mean,
I
think
watched it on a smaller screen, and I thought it functioned pretty okay for me. I was able to see everything.
I think it's just a visual taste thing. Like, I've never been a huge fan of, like, very fast-moving cameras in a fight scene that also has a lot of people doing stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought the jetpack stuff was good.
I like seeing them just like hurl at each other.
Yeah. How many of that new trooper design are you gonna buy, Cody?
Oh man, I love that. If you want to call that a new trooper design, because that kind of just looks like the old, like Mando trooper designs / like Macquarie designs.
I can see it now. They're gonna release a black series of that, and it's gonna be called the Mandalorian Stormtrooper. $25.99, boys.
Mando pooper.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe the Beskar armor Stormtrooper. We'll see.
I think they were called like Elite Troopers. Trying to find out.
But then the
I wish we did a
Praetorian
black series of like the original Empire,
Yeah.
or Imperial like control
Macquarie designs.
No, like the ones from Rebels. Remember Gar Saxon?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But then the friggin' Praetorian Guard showing up and actually getting to be fucking scary and competent in a fight scene.
Yeah.
Bro, I think that fight scene that they were in the other movie was like one of the best parts of that movie, though.
Really? Because that's one of the fight scenes in that trilogy that people always go to criticizing, from what I see.
Remember, they're dumb.
I don't know. I didn't love that fight scene. I didn't love that fight scene personally, but also I don't hate it as much as those people do. It's one of those things where I'm kind of in between on it. But this one, where they're just full on like, yeah, no, this guy is no problem for us, and it's a scary, tragic scene. Oh man, poor Ragnar.
Ragnar.
Yeah.
Man, he got rocked.
Another Mandalorian child that'll have to grow up without a papa.
He has a community though.
Yeah.
Boy howdy, was Moff just like fucking big dick energy though.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, I stole all your shit. We're just gonna kill you now.
You guys suck without this stuff, so like what is even the point of keeping you around?
Hey, it could be revealed that he was just always Mandalorian and just like left, like Gar Saxon.
It could.
The way he was talking didn't sound like he was a Mandalorian. It sounded like, I'm from the outside stealing your shit.
Mm-hmm. It was very what's a good like real world historical example of something like that happening?
I don't know.
Apparently neither do I, because I'm pulling a blank.
The Greek and Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah, with like pretty much like statues, art, and everything else. Probably a lot more relevant there than I'm thinking of, actually. Thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
Especially because of how Moff Gideon is.
Especially because Moff Gideon's is part of an empire, and what was Rome?
It was an empire that had like a big definitive point of destruction, but then remained around for centuries afterwards.
Yep, in different forms.
Mm-hmm.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, big old battle. They beat Moff Gideon once and for all, supposedly.
I mean, if we had a nickel for every time Esposito died by an explosion in a critically acclaimed television show, we'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it happened twice.
Okay, you got me back in the Breaking Bad memes, baby.
You've been saving that since Wednesday, haven't you, you fuck?
I mean, I haven't. I was just going through some memes.
Yeah, they restart the Great Forge. The Mandalorians are gonna be a thing. They're gonna get their planet back up and running again. And Din fucks off to Navarro to say, I need a safe life to raise my kid, because I'm just gonna adopt him. He's Din Grogu now. And here's IG-11 finally fixed, and he can be the Marshal. But also the New Republic's gonna have me as like their unofficial independent contractor, which I think is a good status quo to have if they want to come back and do another season of this, which they probably will. But I mean, like, if the show ended right here, I don't think.
Well, I could be completely wrong because people like spreading misinformation. But I heard like the viewership hasn't been great for season 3. Like it's like half off.
Yeah, there was a huge decline this season.
Well, it's also there's not like a big like, oh, he's gonna meet Luke Skywalker, or like, oh, he's gotta get Grogu back. There's nothing like that.
And it's also like you don't have as much of a captive audience as you did for the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, again, like all the Star Wars happened, and like people are starting to get like you
Also,
may not be
people
burnt
can
out.
go outside now.
Yeah, like it's not as pandemic infested.
But like you say, there's so much Star Wars. It's like, buddy, not really. There was 2 other shows, and one of them was just Mandalorian 2.5.
There was 3 other shows because there was Obi-Wan and Andor.
Yeah.
And you got Bad Batch, and you got Voices, and you got Tales of the Jedi. So there's been a fair amount of stuff. It hasn't been... I don't think it's been a flood. It's been more like a steady flow of Star Wars over the last couple of years.
Like people have been comparing it to like early MCU.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I have not heard anybody say that, so I don't know where you're getting that, bud.
I think you also need to remember that, like, Boingo also pushes back really hard against that sort of criticism towards MCU.
Yeah. So.
People keep acting like, oh, all this content's here, I have to consume it. No, you don't. Fucking
but like
regulate, you dumbasses.
That's true, but for the longest time, you have to remember, in popular culture, the MCU was presented as its one continuous story, and you want to be on board and be able to follow along.
Oh, so you fell for Stan Lee's bullshit again. Great.
Yeah, they all did. And now they're pushing back against it. The MCU is just an accelerated version of what comics fans have already been through over the last, fucking 80 decades?
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
You're funny.
Not 8 decades, 80 years.
But that is 8 decades.
No, I said 80 decades, like it's been 800 years of comic books.
Like, I want to write a story about that now, where it's like, oh, it's been 800 years of comic books.
The far off future where like Marvel comics are just something that materialize inside of your mind.
Or some like I don't know. I kind of want to. That'll be some fun speculative fiction to write.
Yeah, it's a Twilight Zone episode waiting to happen, if nothing else. But yeah, good season of Mandalorian, I thought.
Yeah.
Could have been better, of course, but I feel like they did a good job with all the building blocks they had and got us to a satisfying conclusion of the arc of Mandalore slowly rising up from the ashes of the Empire.
It also feels like it's the beginning of a status quo for, like, I wouldn't say a new show, but like a new arc of Mandalorian. Because now he's all on his own. He's not worrying about his family over in the the fucking Enclave.
His people are fine. He's had an encounter with the Jedi and decided that's not for him or his kid.
And basically, he's now set up in the midpoint to go, hey, Navarro needs something? Sweet, I can go help my buds. The Mandalorians need something because I'm the baddest dude around? Sweet, let me go help my family.
Oh, the New Republic's got a job for me?
And it's like, immediately, you have a fucking story for any episode. It's just like, oh, hey Mando, it's the New Republic. Can you go do this for us?
Yeah, and you have an easy way for him to cameo in the other shows, because like it's not like it didn't make sense that he showed up in Book of Boba Fett, but like they had to have like a whole episode to get him to Boba. Here it can literally just be like he shows up in Ahsoka because Hera says, New Republic, we need a subcontractor to help us out with a mission, and then Mando just shows up.
Yeah. Like, remember what fucking Favreau said at the beginning of the season? I see no definitive end for Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
It's because now it's an episodic, ongoing story that you can just, oh, hey, we want to do some Mandalorian.
And everybody lost their shit at that quote. And we get to the end of this season, and it makes perfect sense. Not only that, but like Filoni's got a movie coming out that will probably have Mando in it at some point that is being advertised as the conclusion to everything, or the culmination of everything Filoni's been doing. I don't think they said it's going to be a conclusion, but it's going to be like everything he's done is going to come together thematically in this movie.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see. I hope it's an animated movie. Okay,
really cool. I don't know if anything in Clone Wars or Rebels has hinted towards it, but with stuff I know about the clones and Boba Fett, what if the Mandalorian people accept all the aging clones as Mandalorians and say like, hey, the world abandoned you, but you're Mandos.
Considering
Welcome
some of
home.
the stuff they were doing in Bad Batch this season, I could see something like that popping off. Like, oh
Because
man,
that's like two major plot
Dude.
points of
Like-
Filoni's stuff is like Mandalore and its downfall and rise again, and
oh dude,
the tragedy of the clones. And
I'm
to
about-
wrap them both
I'm
up in
about to
one
make
story-
me and Cody I'm about to make me and Cody way too excited about something that probably won't happen. Tamura Morrison shows up in season 4 as the live action Bad Batch.
See, I don't know that he'd be every single one of the Bad Batch. Some of them are distinctly different enough that you could have maybe.
You can get
CGI
somebody
or
else to play
something.
Tick and Wrecker.
get some
Or,
cousins
well,
of his.
The Tech wouldn't be there for reasons.
Honestly, they could just get it close enough and do like the fucking face swap thing.
Yeah. And also like Morrison has said that he wants to play Commander Rex and Captain Cody at some point.
Good
He
dude,
wants
I
to
wanna
come back
see
and do
him.
them again.
I want
And-
to see those Rex.
And I'm
Again,
like,
do it animated. Like,
no, he's talking about I would like to play them in live action.
okay.
Because he's the live action Boba
Oh.
Fett / clone guy. D. Bradley Baker is the animation clone Boba Fett guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I'd still like say like the Filoniverse finale should be animation to bring it full circle to like Clone Wars.
I get the I don't think they said either way at Celebration, but I get the feeling that all those announcements were for live action projects.
Oh yeah, it's 100% live action, but I'm just saying, what if?
Mhm.
Could
I mean, if it was animated, you could just do a lot of the stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And just like it would be nice to have another animated Star Wars movie that isn't the Clone Wars, because that was not a good movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
isn't
think
it okay as like a couple of episodes of the Clone Wars?
Yeah, it's weird.
But
And
it was
also just-
early Clone Wars, and like I've said this before, but I know it's gonna make Cody mad to hear it again. Clone Wars didn't get good until season 4. Oh, his mic's
Oh.
muted. I think
I
I'm
usually
safe.
say season 3, but yeah.
I mean, there's good episodes in season 1. There's good episodes.
Yeah, there's good episodes all throughout, but like it doesn't consistently feel good until season 4, in my opinion.
It's more like background noise of like, oh, that's entertaining enough.
Mhm.
Fair.
And the movie is definitely the roughest point.
Oh yeah, especially because they had to rush out the animation, and so it looks the worst out of all the Clone Wars material we've had so far.
Yeah.
It probably also doesn't help that they released that one in theaters when it should have been a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, it should have been a made-for-TV movie, man.
But no, I'm planning on watching Clone Wars. I'm planning on watching Rebels, on Bad Batch, on all of them.
hmm
It's time.
Anytime I try to get somebody into it, I'd always tell them around season 3 or season 4 to like get into it story wise. I loved the first 3 seasons just as much for me, just because it was just like more clones.
Yeah, and clones are just clones.
And I mean, if
Oh.
anything, there are 2 episodes of season 1 you really have to watch, because there's the episode that introduces Echo and Fives, and then there's the episode that introduces Cad Bane.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
hope you boys enjoyed your Star Warsing.
We did. I think we all really did.
Mando was good. Mando was good.
Yeah. How
This
long
is
have
the
we
way.
been recording, I wonder? This is the way.
Should we stop or should we like do something?
We've been
else?
going for 2 hours. We could call this a podcast.
Yeah.
It's
I need to
fun.
go to the bathroom, so I'll plug my shit
I
right
just
now.
went to the bathroom.
Oh, that's why you were muted. You were taking a shit.
Oh no, I would no. If I was shitting, I'd just leave.
What?
You
Like,
have
it's like pissing.
you have taken a shit with me on call.
All right. No, there's too much information about Cody's pissing.
We've done this before in episodes.
I
I'm pretty
know, but I
sure.
don't want to get like I don't want like people to get on my case like, oh, you shared too much Cody pissing information.
There's no such thing.
Yeah,
No.
true.
Everybody wants to know, how does Cody piss?
Cody's bowel movements are the most important topic of any modular media
In that
podcast.
case, I have shit at least 12 times today.
Oh,
My
Yeah.
stomach has been fucked all day. I don't know what's going on.
Damn.
Oh,
could have been something you ate. Not
I
genuine
guess it must
concern
have
from a
been.
friend.
Bro, I'm just like rattling it off, dude. It's just diarrhea, man.
Just diarrhea.
Yeah.
How's I guess yeah. Nothing else really to say about Mandalorian. So, like, I guess we could go into the other topic Cody wanted to talk about tonight. You bought a PS5, didn't you, bud?
I sure did. Oh yeah, I'll briefly talk about the Ninjago thing. Ninjago thing.
Ninjago.
We finally got. So that I'm tying this away from Ninjago. I just wanted to like bait a little bit because it does come back.
Oh.
No, we finally got what like Dreams looks like Lego Dreams.
Uh-huh.
We don't know what the sets look like, but there's a show coming out,
Ooh.
and the show was teased on I think like last week or something like that. Where it was on the Ninjago account where they've been posting these cryptic things for the new series of Ninjago coming out, the new cartoon. And then in this little web series, there's 4 of them. Each one of them talks about a weird and wacky like dream they had. And it's actually like all the characters from Lego Dreams. So like we don't know what it's going to be, but like we've seen things that match descriptions for sets and like every single one of them. So
is Lego Dreams like a collector line?
I mean, Lego Dreams is just like it's definitely like aimed at like Ninjago, the regular kid. I mean, anybody buys Lego at this point, they know that.
Yeah.
It's just meant to be like fun, cool sets of like things.
Like, you're not gonna tell me that Ninjago is only aimed at like 13-year-olds, and then show me like a $200 or $350 like Destiny's Bounty. Like, that's not like Lego is for like the Lego is Lego, dog. That's just it.
Lego is for everybody.
That's why they
Like
used to do 99 plus.
Lego from 8 to 88. Or what was his number?
No,
It was 99 plus.
But it's like, what's the younger number?
6.
Maybe.
All right.
3?
I think that's it. Is that all we had to say
You could be
today?
swallowing some Legos at 3, I think.
3P.
I would have to ask my nephew because he's.
Whoa! We ain't doing live tests like that.
No, I'm fucking joking around, buddy.
I know. I'm adding to the joke.
Are you joking and smoking?
No, but I am eating some damn good trail mix.
Are you smoking Jim Frazier?
I'm smoking Joe Robinson.
Robin these nuts.
Smoking meat?
We're just spinning our wheels.
But yeah, so those videos are up, and you can check them out. There's like a turtle hippie van combo.
I think I'm gonna wait for an official
collar.
announcement before checking those out. Like, I need to know concrete details.
Oh, I mean, it's just like the Dreams characters that have been confirmed in like these Ninjago shorts. It's straight up like the Ninjago characters talking about their dreams, but it's like these brand new characters we've never seen before, and they revealed the villain, which hasn't even been spoken about.
Oh, so it's going to be a whole new multimedia thing.
Oh yeah, there's a cartoon coming out for it.
Oh, neat.
So super exciting. It just means there's going to be some really wacky Lego sets, and I think some of the best Lego stuff happens like that. But yes, I did get a PS5 though.
Oh,
You've become gamer. You've gamed.
Apparently a new Rise of the Beast poster. It's pretty simple, but it looks.
Oh yeah, there's some new Rise of the Beast gifs that I just saw on the internet a second ago. It showed a Rhinox transformation running at the screen.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the Rhinox stuff.
Aren't we supposed to get a new trailer next week?
I think so.
Yo, we're getting a new Legends Monsterverse movie.
Yeah, that was announced a couple days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing where I saw one of those dumbass articles who like, do we really think this new monkey is King Kong? And no, nobody fucking does. He's orange.
He's Lanky
He's
Kong
orange.
from Donkey Kong 64.
DK. Chunky's dead.
Yeah. I keep forgetting Chunky's Dead is another variation of the DK rap that people like quoting. Okay, now we're just alienating Vac with dumb memes.
Anyways.
I'm looking at Twitter now.
This PS5 is great. I do love the haptic feedback. It loads real fast. I finally got to put some time into Bug Snacks and another game.
What's
that
the
I
other
have been
game?
waiting. It is Iron Harvest.
I've never heard of it.
It's like a World War One mech real-time strategy game, and it was Chris. You remember the photography teacher at Flow?
Yes.
He introduced me to this painter who I forget the name, but he took like he made these interesting like European like farmland paintings from like the World War One era.
Mm-hmm.
And like would put like these massive hulking like mech assault mechs in the background, but
Yeah, like
make
there's
them
a
more-
tabletop war game about that, isn't there?
yeah, like that like same artist kind of like worked with Iron Harvest to create these characters, and but it's like you get to play as them, and it's a beautiful, incredibly detailed game. It's a lot of fun, a lot of little wacky robots, essentially, just cool robots. And I really wanted to play it for like 3 years, and I tried to play it on my laptop, but it wasn't having it. But Warframe and like all my other games are fantastic on it. The thing is just like, I mean, it's just shorter than Devastator is. Combiner Wars Devastator, which is a big boy. This thing is a Titan class transformer that costs, I mean, almost the same price. A little bit more than a fucking Titan class transformer, actually. But I don't know. There's not a whole lot else to say about it. I kind of got some of it out sporadically earlier. One other cool thing is I was gonna buy a SSD for this, which was an updated hard drive. I was gonna put a 2 terabyte in there, but I found out that my 4 terabyte extended external hard drive for my PS4 simply works.
Neat.
I didn't even have to format it or anything. All the games that I had saved on that fucking brick, I just plugged it into the PS5, and there they are, ready to play and save and whatever on my new console, which is kind of crazy.
You talking about that one art dude just made me go like, you would probably love the art talked about in this video. This is a video of someone talking about the lore of it, but it's like a lot of cool art projects. It's one big project that one person did, and this guy's like trying to describe the story.
Yeah. Oh, here's an interesting shot of
Yo, is
man.
Devastator on the computer?
Devastator staring at the PS5.
The illuminated inside fin of the PS5 with Devastator in the background.
Oh my god.
Look at that
Devastator,
Seto
like-
Kaiba ass looking console.
He does look like Seto Kaiba.
That's an old ass meme.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Kind of looks like the i4 eyesore for us Florida fans.
Oh yeah, it is a little
Jesus Christ.
eyesore.
Anyways, so yeah, it's super cool. I don't really have I still have like a HD TV, and I'm gonna get a new one, but it's still able to like show.
Is it 1080 or 720?
It's 1080, I think. I don't know. I really don't know, actually.
We
What you
don't
thinking
know a
about?
lot of things.
What you thinking about grabbing television wise? Have you started
I was
researching?
How's the spare room coming?
Well, I mean, right now, today is when I put all those shelves in there.
Oh,
Ooh.
it's getting close. The Cody content. It's gonna happen.
I'm gonna be
I'm just saying,
fighting
I can edit. I need money.
I'm gonna be fighting it all day tomorrow. It's gonna take me a while, but I mean, it might not take so long.
Cody,
But I got,
Cody,
like-
just like every 2 weeks, just sends Buster like 80 toy reviews to edit.
Ooh, I
can
think
work
I'm gonna
with
have like a long style desk. I found a
Ooh.
way that I could figure out to make the desk the height that I want. I'm just gonna find. I might use a door, but I'm gonna
I mean, you could go to IKEA and just get like a butcher block, couldn't you?
or that actually. But anyways, so I have like 3 identical short shelves. So I can either use 2 of them that way, or use all 3 and like use the space in the middle for something, or the space on either side of them for something. But the idea is I wanted to kind of go along that window or that wall that we the wall where the window was in my spare room, and then maybe be able to slide a desk chair in there, so I could have a place to like fuck around with my Legos like I want. I mean, that's where that's supposed to be. So, but I think I'd like a higher desk than normal, more like a work height type thing, kind of like the shop, Chris. A lot like the shop, actually.
Yeah.
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 Look, honestly, at this point in time, half of what we want is just trying to replicate that environment, isn't it, Cody?
Yeah.
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 No, they just
I also
announced
got-
2 Monster Arts Godzillas.
Nice.
Ooh, what are they?
a re-release of the Millennium Ziller from the movie with Cyber.
Fucking Final Wars? Are you telling me that what?
Yeah,
Just post the
and
links back.
God damn it! Don't make
I'm
me
working
search
on
for this
it.
shit.
hang on. I gotta get back to the one
It's
I
my
was just
favorite
talking
Godzilla
about.
design. You son of a bitch! I love that movie.
I know it's my favorite too.
I posted
Oh,
one of
baby.
them.
There it is. There's one of the ones
Oh.
they announced, and then I was just looking at. I think that's a re-release with like some small updates because I think they've done that design before. But if I can find the
Your news
freaking.
outlet might be getting a follow from me because I didn't.
Oh yeah, they're good people.
Oh, they did
but
the
also-
fucking '70s one, right?
Yeah, no, this is 58 Godzilla.
Ooh.
This boy that where did I
Oh
post
man.
this? I posted it
Boy,
in
they sure
general.
did get those eyes right, and I'm not sure it's good.
Yeah, them goofy ass eyes.
There's accuracy, and then there's
Whatever the hell this
creative.
is.
I don't know. Oh yeah, the 51, the old one. Is
Mhm.
that a Monster Arts or is that just a big?
That's a
boy?
Monster Arts.
Well, I've scrolled further down and I'm looking at a wonkier design.
Yeah, let me just move this link over to the private chat and delete that post real quick. There we go.
That man is a Zilla.
That's a Ziller, all right.
That's a mozzarella.
No, I
Pizza
will say
mozzarella,
I've owned.
pizza mozzarella.
I owned a Monster Arts figure, and let me try to find out which one it was. It might have been the first release of the Final Wars one, actually.
Oh shit, High Moon Optimus is showing up in stores.
Yeah, the Praeternia posted that it was shipping tomorrow today,
Mm.
but I kind of I kind of backed off of that after watching the Barricade review and realizing like I was kind of worried about like the ankle situation and like some of the other details of it, and they kind of really did just like I
Yeah.
really gotta wait. I'm definitely not getting Barricade. I think.
Friend of the show, Tim Ziaman, actually got Optimus in today, and he said he was like super disappointed in it. Apparently, the articulation's like not that good at all because of how bulky it is.
Looks, yeah, unfortunately, I can see it. Yeah, it's just like a shame because a lot of people like those specific versions of Prime and Bumblebee. You know.
Mm-hmm. Go back and buy the old figures that are probably like $60 on the aftermarket, if that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
There's a Godzilla Singular Point Rodan that I've never seen in my entire life.
Was he in the show?
He was in Singular Point.
I think Cody's talking about like a toy he's looking at right now.
Yeah, I've never seen the toy, and it's on sale on Entertainment Earth for $30.
Mm.
Just a pterodactyl. I mean, honestly, it would look good as a pterodactyl, depending on how big this thing is. I really want the Hedora.
Yeah, the smog monster.
This monster.
Oh, sponsor your monster.
All right, I'm trying to find the Monster Arts that I owned. Because let me tell you, while they are very pretty, they're not very fun to fuck around with sometimes. Like they kind of feel like
From
nails.
what I hear, they're pretty delicate.
They're delicate and sharp, and like if you're just fucking with Godzilla, guess what? That's just it's spikes. Nothing but spikes. And the one that I had was like excessively spikes, and I think it was this one, those Godzilla 2000.
Have they made a Monster Arts Zilla?
No, and I don't think they ever will.
Because everybody hates that movie.
And that's why I like Final Wars.
Yeah, but like to recreate the Final Wars stuff.
They made Godzilla Jr. though, so I mean, who knows?
Bro, why is the Microsoft store getting all these anime dubs? This is so weird because they got the Digimon Adventure dub, and now they got like, are they just Microsoft money? I guess I don't know. They have the Digimon Adventure dub, and then they just got like new One Piece Wano episodes. What the hell's going on?
You know what? Truthfully, when it comes to Monster Arts, I think I like the NECA Zilla figures more than anything because already these designs aren't going to be that articulated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But NECA gets it there to almost the same level, if not literally the same. I mean, like, the difference is more application than it is end result, honestly.
I mean, I have a much older, like, I got it when we were at Flow Arts.
I have the same one. You have the NECA one.
Yeah,
It was
the
in the big
NECA, like,
plastic box.
60s one.
Yeah.
NECA
That
does
figure
like
is fun
too
as
much
fuck.
stuff these days.
I wanted the NECA Burning Godzilla or the Fig Arts Monster Arts Burning Godzilla.
I remember you got a Godzilla and then you like and you returned it to like a bookstore.
That was the Monster Arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
Because, like you found it cheaper on Big Bad Toy Store or something.
No, I just ended up not liking it.
Oh,
I bought it. I spent a lot of money, and I was just like, man, fuck.
man, fuck.
Man, fuck. Can I talk about a toy thing I've been getting into recently?
Sure.
Is it Fortnite?
No. I
Nice.
got my first 2 Mythic Legions.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that on your stream, but you had to cut out Mythic Legion talk because of internet.
Yeah, my fucking okay. Quick sidebar. I did a stream this week, which I was planning to be like a big thing. I was like, oh, it's gonna be. I'll talk about once and always. I'll open all this shit I've been saving, and then I'll take a break from streaming over to summer because I'm not gonna really have the money to buy as much as I have been because of movies and saving for trips and stuff. And then like halfway through what would have been the stream, my internet cut out, and I had to spend a goddamn hour on the phone with my ISP before I got it back up. And then I basically just did 10 minutes of saying, like, yeah, sorry, luckily the link still worked, and I could just hop back in this and do a wrap-up, but I have no energy left to do this, so I'm just going to end it here and open the rest of the stuff off camera, which really friggin' sucks, because I had 4 things left to open, and that was the remasters and the Mythic Legions, and they were probably the best things of the night. Like I have nitpicks about the remasters, but overall they're really good Power Ranger figures. But Mythic Legions, man, my first 2 ones are Malleus and Fup, a skeleton boy and a goblin boy, and they are really impressive.
Nice.
How much does the chat know about Mythic Legions? Out of curiosity.
Hey, you've told
The
me about them.
chat.
The chat? Well, who are you? The peanut gallery?
I mean, the people in the fucking voice call. We're having a chat, aren't we?
I've been following Mythic Legions for like ever.
I don't know.
Have
nothing
you ever
about
gotten
it.
any? I don't think I've seen any in your
No.
collection.
No, and I remember back when it was like all the birds. I used to look at them on I used to browse Big Bad Toy Store, but like before I really got into watching, like I always watched like YouTube videos, but before I got into like community shit, I would just like browse Big Bad Toy Store every day
Mm.
and just like look through shit that they'd have.
Yeah.
And I used to just like look at the weird things, and that's how I found out about like fig arts and like fucking other stuff. I'd be like, whoa, what is this?
See, I would be that way. I would get into a YouTube channel for like a toy line, and then they'd start talking about another toy line, and I'd be like, what the fuck is this? And then I'd go on the stores and like look it all up. But yeah, no, my local vintage toy store recently became an official Legions retailer. So I was like, okay, this is the final like nail in the coffin I needed, because I've known about this line for years and I've always thought it was neat. I will buy a couple from you guys to support you guys and test the waters with the line. And after getting the waters tested, yeah, that's some crystal clear shit. I think I'm gonna be buying at least one of those every time I go in that store now. Cause like they're both, I would say, equally good. It's just the fact that the goblin's a bit of a smaller figure, it's a little harder to pose. But they have like the same amount of articulation, and it is like really solid, almost like it's Marvel Legends style Hasbro 6-inch jointing, but there's so much more range on it than you typically get with those figures, to the point where it almost feels like a Figuarts. And like the sculpting and the detail on them is just amazing, and the amount of stuff you get is amazing. Because the skeleton I bought him just because I like the colors and I like the fact that he comes with a battle axe, and like that's all you could really see when he was in package, because the bubble just showed him and one of his battle axes, but then you open him up and there's like a whole baggie of accessories behind him. So he also has like a whole extra battle axe, parts to make both the battle axes into double battle axes, a sword, freaking armor pauldrons that you can put on him, and like a little sling to sheath the sword in. So he's like a fully featured figure, whereas like I had the impression of like, oh, I'd have to buy a different skeleton if I want a sword, or I'd have to buy this figure if I wanted to get this kind of thing. But like he is almost like a perfectly self-contained guy. But the fact that he's so good, it's like, yeah, I'm ready to build an army of Mythic Legion skeletons now. Which you can, because they've made a shit ton of them.
Yeah, I think my entry is gonna be the boss fight studios.
The Epic Hacks ones that are coming out. With
Yeah,
like the luchador and the cowboy.
no, just like I've always wanted to get into their mythic style things, smaller scale stuff. They do 3/4, not
Yeah.
like because like Mythic Legion is like 7 inch, right? 7 or 8.
I mean, it's meant that you can fudge it into 6 or 7 inch. I mean, it looks a bit big for 6 inch, but it looks a bit small with like the 7 or 8 inch McFarlane and Mattel stuff. So it's right in between. But I think it works well enough for my 6 inch collection. So I'm probably gonna get a bunch more over time. And I do want to dip into some of the other third-party skeleton toys that are out there. Like I want to get that one from Foosh Toys that's coming out. I'd like to get one or two of the boss fight ones. I'd love to get one of the oh god, what are they called? The company that's doing Golden Axe toys. They made skeletons from that game, and those look good.
Storm Collectibles.
Yeah, I'd like to get a couple Storm Collectibles skeletons at some point. But no, dude's really good. He could be like a leader of an army of them, or he could just be like a generic Power Rangers baddie, or like his own little dude hanging out on his own. And I definitely have a lot of photography plans for him.
Dude hanging out on a snood.
Yeah.
I also got a couple of interesting figures this week, and it was all like it was like discount bonanza because when I went this past weekend down to
Yeah, did you have a good Ollie's trip or something?
yeah, so like this past weekend I went to Target in South Florida, and that's where I found another Tiger Force Duke, and then they still had their King Grayskull, and their King Grayskull was on sale for $6.
Oh wow, I didn't know they were discounting him that much, but there's like an entire end cap of them discounted at my Target right now.
That's weird because we're long past fucking Grayskull and mine. Like he showed up for a little while, but then we've had She-Ra and fucking Hordak. There it is.
You got there eventually, buddy.
I forget we had Lockjaw. I forget the guy with the Triclops, maybe. Pretty much all of them. I've seen all of them there, except for one of them, but I can't remember what that was.
All right, I was busy. What were you guys doing?
We're talking about toys.
Yeah, toys are good. I like my Zinkheiser SH figure arts.
But then I went to Ollie's because my friend who works at Ollie's sent me a picture, which I forgot to ask him if they put more out because he said they got different Transformers and Star Wars figures in as well. So Ollie's is getting like a bunch of these figures that have been moved from discount and such.
Yeah.
And they just had like all the Fortnite ones. They had TNTina with the glider, and that glider base is just fucking rad, dude. That thing kicks ass.
Because I think that stand is based on the same stand mold they've been using for a few years now with like Legends and some of the other lines. Like I think it's the same mold that comes with the Black Widow I bought a bunch of from Ollie's, and the same mold that they've been using with the starting lineups.
I don't think this is anything I've seen before. I definitely don't think Black Widow came with a stand like this.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Cause like this thing is like tall as shit.
Yeah, no, that's the same mold.
Which Black Widow Marvel Legends came with a stand like that?
The movie deluxe one in the white costume that came with all the effects parts.
Oh,
Like,
maybe
there's
like maybe like the weird connecting point, but like the thing is like it's 4x4, but it seems like the spacing might be a little bit more out, and it's got 3 pegs on it, and then like 3 other things, and then like
no, they
the
definitely modified it, but it looks like it's the same concept. So here's that Black Widow.
oh, I am looking at it on Amazon.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean it's essentially like a different thing, but it's the same system
Yeah,
because like the same effects would plug into it, but like it's got like a custom print on the front of it, a complete custom shape, and then the thing mounts directly to the back part of it, and it's like probably like 9 or 10 inches tall.
it's
It
probably
almost
more
comes
like
up to the
it's a
PS5.
house style of flight stand Hasbro has going.
Yeah, for sure. I am curious though about some of those effect parts then,
Oh yeah,
but
I bought like 4 of those from Ollie's just to get a bunch of the effects parts, and they're real good.
I got like a weird thing about tossing toys and something. It'd be hard for me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've
I
done
feel ya.
similar things.
I mean, I was also, because this is before the Valkyries got announced, I was also buying those with the intent of, oh, I can customize all these Black Widows into female Cobra Troopers. And then I got lazy or got busy, depending on the way you look at it, and I wasn't able to do that as quick as I had hoped. And then the friggin' Valkyries got announced, and now I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with those Black Widows anymore. Those are just in a bag for a while.
Paint their hair, and then they're just other Black Widows.
Fair enough.
I don't know. You could be like, if the head swap works, you can just be like a Arctic Mission Lady J or something.
Ooh, there's an idea. This one is played by Scarlett Johansson. This one is played by Barlett Dodanson.
Sometimes you just gotta dance in the moonlight.
Hey,
Mhm.
Boingo, what you been drawing recently? Because you got the tablet.
Well, I mean, I posted something I drew earlier.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like that one. Are you drawing anything else?
No, I try to draw like one thing while we're doing a stream, and then it's like I got plans. Hatch has been suggesting doing a Teach Boingo art stream and have all the other VPAL artists do a collab and just like go like, hey, try this with digital art.
Oh,
There's
Hasbro
the-
sells that display stand in a pack of 3, by the way.
Oh,
I've never seen this in my entire life.
but going off that idea, like fucking do a series of streams where it's like VPAL art school or art class, and then you're like constantly going, I've actually been to art school, you fuckers.
It's just like the first one will probably be Hatch, and we've started figuring out the plan. That's the thing. It's like it's so easy to come up with like I have an idea for a stream. Let's get a collab. But then it's just like, all right, what's the specific details? Because half of us are neurodivergent, and we need all the details in order to make a fucking plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mood.
Yeah, Cody, that flight stand is pretty good. My only real problem with it is I wish it had an alternate clip that relied on friction, because the clip is spring loaded, which is pretty good with most things. But occasionally there's stuff and I'll try and put on it that I'm like, I wish I could just kind of balance it on this. I didn't have to worry about the clip snapping shut or something like that.
Yeah, I have a figure stand where I have like there's like a box somewhere full of them. I found a company that made one that I like that kind of like it comes on a sprue. You have to like assemble it. And that's what I have for like that's what's holding up Django and like a couple other characters, and I've used it for like the reason why I like it is because one, the fact that it comes on a sprue means I don't have to take off the shit that I don't need if I'm mainly just trying to use it. But it comes with adapters for like Gundam ports. It's got regular like 3 and 5 millimeter options, so it works with a lot of Transformers. And then it has a couple other specific things like grabbers and stuff like that.
Yeah. Honestly, the only real drawback of it is that, like, it's still, even though it's translucent, it's still a big bulky piece of plastic, so it's kind of hard to get around it when you're shooting photography. It only really works for display stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to try to find a link for the stands that I use, because they're the type with like the arms that are thin enough that you can hide them in photography.
Yeah.
And also the real hitch, the real kicker is that the 3 like little points that bend on the stand. It's that kind where it's like it's articulated.
Moshi stages, I think they're called.
Do what?
Moshi stages.
Maybe, I don't know. These are cheap ones, but they have little screws that you could tighten,
Yeah.
so it holds.
And there's also I've been meaning forever to make the what is the correct terminology? Like the custom craft wire stands that everybody on Instagram uses for their photography. I've had the stuff for those in my Amazon cart so many times and just never pulled the trigger on it.
Mm. Buster, I know you're not white, but you're a little too white to do that.
yeah, that was too white. That was too white. Like I wasn't even like. I was gonna meow, but I don't think the world is ready for that soundbite.
Yeah.
Oh, kitten, Buster.
No, stop talking.
We are on Discord.
Mm. It is also almost midnight, so
Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Midnight.
I think it's time to call it a podcast.
Yeah, like I said 30 minutes ago.
Screw off. And tell everybody where they can see you screwing off.
I screw off at BusterCorp at YouTube.com. I didn't upload a video this week, but I should upload one. I should upload one today if everything goes right. We'll see. But like, yeah, good. Also at Twitter, where the slowly dying Twitter at BusterBully3.
Mhm.
Also at I don't know, Tumblr at Buster's Corp, where I reblog things. That's about it.
Snow
Oh
cone.
yeah. Oh right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm ultra sleepy now.
Mhm.
Never_robot on instant gramification and Snoken83 on most other things probably.
Boingo.
Yeah. What's up?
Where are you?
I'm right here. What do you want?
Where can people watch your content?
Oh, a variety of places. Do you want me to be specific?
It would be helpful, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. You can watch it on YouTube. That's where I post like video essays and editorials and video reviews of like Kamen Rider Geats Weekly. I also stream on Twitch Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. Give or take, you know. You can also find me on a variety of other places: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Boingo_writer, and you can find me on Tumblr at Boingo Writer. Just look for. You can find me on Tumblr. It's not that hard. I post shit there. Apparently, I'm funny because I've been getting a lot of notes, some dumb jokes I've been making, so that's good.
Oh yeah.
You can also find me on my Discord server. I do shit there. Half the time I treat it like a blog. Links to everything in the description.
Yeah. And I'm the Vac Man. I make vac videos. You can find them at the Vacuuminator on YouTube.
What's the best vacuum cleaner you should get right now?
People tell me Dysons are really good. I've never actually used a Dyson, which feels weird given that my name is the Vacuuminator, but I suppose that's a topic for another day. At the Vacuuminator on the YouTube, at the Vacuuminator on Twitter, and thevacuuminator.tumblr.com, at the_Vacuuminator on Instagram for figure photography, and at the_Vacuuminator on TikTok for clips of my videos. And this is a modular media thing, so like if you watch through all of this, you must fucking like modular media. Just fucking support us. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. Follow us on Twitter at the Modular Media. Join the subreddit r/Modular Media. Follow us on Tumblr at Modular Media, and just generally be a good person. Take your vitamins. Sleep a good amount of hours in the night. And thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you back here next week.
Badass titties.
Oh, we almost got through a whole episode without it.
Look, I'm gonna make dumb jokes.